Your comfort zone is your greatest enemy, and let me tell you why. 5 years ago, when I first got accepted into Cal State Fullerton, I was in my comfort zone. I knew that this school was 30 minutes away from home, 30 minutes away from where my friends were, where my family was, where my comfort was. Attending the university, I was upset. I had lost contact with all my old friends due to different class schedules. And when trying to make new friends in a commuter campus, it was especially difficult because there was no Southwest Asian, North African, or SWANA community present. For those who don't know, SWANA is a more representative and inclusive term to use rather than using the term Middle Eastern North African because it encompasses the broader region that would otherwise have to identify as white. But the SWANA community did exist on campus. And how do I know? The person in line in front of me at Starbucks in the library is speaking Arabic to his Kuwaiti friend who has a very strong smell of Dior Sauvage. My first year me, being too shy to budge in, I stood behind them and just observed, hoping that one day I could walk into that same Starbucks with some SWANA friends of my own. But there I stood alone. I wanted to transfer out. I wanted to transfer to USC, UCR, somewhere with a Lebanese club, somewhere where I can embrace my culture and my heritage, somewhere where I can feel included. And so I didn't do just that. I attended a USC Transfer Day program, and the admissions director told me, "What are you doing at Cal State Fullerton that you can bring to USC?" So I thought to myself, I'm just going to start a Lebanese club. So I took that information, came back to campus. My first year, first semester, I started a new organization form and I submitted it. Now I had a Lebanese Student Association. I had 3 members and a treasurer. This was one step out of my comfort zone. I would have never imagined myself to feel so excluded out of a campus community. Coming out of high school with no leadership experience, to start or even lead a campus organization was out of the ordinary for me. But there I was. I kept getting emails from the Asian Pacific Islander Desi American Resource Center saying that my community, my identity belonged to that community, and if I was in need of any resources or wanted to attend any events, A-Park, as they called it, was the place to be. Confused, I naturally just kept ignoring the emails, until one day I walked into the center and I was greeted by a few students from the organization Students for Justice in Palestine and the Senate director at that time. The Senate director sat us down and told us how underrepresented we were on campus, with no community graduation ceremony, no Heritage Month celebration, no resources, no events, no programs. We knew we had to change something, and so we changed the narrative. We created the first annual CSU SWANA Week on campus. It was a week-long of events that showcased the community and brought them to light. After what felt like a million phone calls and a ton of all-nighters, we had accomplished what we were out to achieve. Seeing 200 people gathered for the first time made me realize that I can't leave. My community needed me. I stopped my transfer applications. Whether this be more programs, more events, more representation, I knew I had to stay, and I knew we needed something bigger, a resource center. The following semester, I had walked into an administrator's office, and I told him, "Your SWANA students need a resource center." He looked at me and he said, "Why you?" Now, why you? Why your community? I'm not gonna lie, I stood there as those words cut deep, and I represented an entire SWANA population that lacked this resource. I couldn't help but stand there and think to myself, why not us? My community has contributed so much to American society, yet receives nothing but prejudice. My community has to apply as white or other on the census when we are not recognized and receive the same privileges. My community receives front and stares or gets called terrorists when we speak our native tongues out in public. My community has such a rich history that dates back to hundreds of thousands of years ago. My community consists of the people who founded the modern alphabet, Egypt. My community consists of the people who founded algebra, Iraq. My community consists of those who were first in history to weave carpets, Iran. And even more recently, my community consists of the person who founded Moderna, Lebanon. And I can go on and on about each unique country. Yet I stood there and I was faced with the question, why you? As my head began to spiral with all these thoughts, I went back to my friends that had planned SWANA Week with. Lucky for me, they had given me the gift of empowerment. And this is not the kind of empowerment that you learn in a classroom setting. It's the kind of empowerment that makes you open your eyes and makes you open your eyes and see for how you are actually viewed within the world. The lack of representation, resources, staff, programs, events made me kickstart an organization that made my people feel heard. And you guessed it right, it's called SWANA. My journey towards self-growth, empowering others, and educating the campus community began at this moment. I did not want my community entering Cal State Fullerton with the same feeling I felt, a feeling no one should ever feel, a feeling of loneliness and emptiness. So I took it upon myself to make sure that my community had the best college experience. Within the past 5 years, my SWANA boards and I have worked with student government, faculty and staff, other CSUs, and the Chancellor's Office, with the most notable items being myself, along with 3 other SWANA women, publishing an article that talks about different perspectives of higher education. Cal State Fullerton was the first CSU to implement a SWANA minor. With the help of the Chancellor's Office, we officially established a demographic. So now whenever you apply to any Cal State, you can apply under a SWANA ethnicity and choose which unique country that you come from. And that Lebanese Student Association that I created to transfer out won Best Lebanese Student Association in the US. And lastly, I stand here today and I'm able to share that we have a SWANA Resource Center opening within the next few months. Lucky for me, I've been blessed to be a part of a team who saw the vision and believed in it. I know that I'm graduating in May, but I know the seeds that I have planted here will continue to bloom as they motivate others to plant their own seeds. I'm lucky to be here today to share my experiences, an experience that taught me that my Cal State Fullerton admission was a blessing in disguise, an experience that taught me not to run away from change, but to make it, an experience that taught me to advocate for your community, an experience such as me being here today, speaking to you all about the struggles of SWANA students, how to be proud of where you come from, be proud of your community, and represent your unique country everywhere you go because it's a piece of who you are. My comfort zone had changed. My comfort zone had broke. My comfort zone was no longer driving those 30 minutes back home, but to stay on campus all day. My comfort zone was making my community feel happy and included. I now walk into that same Starbucks in the library with an entire SWANA population that I represent, with my amazing SWANA friends, speaking our native tongues, and introducing ourselves to the people behind us who understand us. As Amal Clooney once said, challenge orthodoxy, and when you're older, sitting in your rocking chair, be sure you have a good story to tell your grandchildren. Thank you.